Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unfiltered. It's 2025, and guess what? I'm in my new studio. It's not 100% complete, but it's about 90% complete. We won't show you behind the scenes right now, but hey, this is really cool because now I can actually have on more guests in a bigger room that hopefully isn't 112 degrees when you're in that little room. And the sound is better, the lighting's better, and hopefully, eventually, the backdrop will even get better because we got some things that we're going to tweak. However, this is the first show of 2025. And to be honest with you, I really had already planned on speaking a message on Sunday about a topic that I was going to talk about today. And since we had the snow storm, Blair, kind of get in the way, I had to change a few things. So this Sunday is when I'm going to speak that message, but I'm still going to talk about some abbreviated things, and then next podcast, I will go more into those details and break down the message a little bit more. Hopefully, that's the goal. But today, what I want to do is I want to talk about our health and some goals and some commitments for the new year. Because this is the time of year where everybody starts to make New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions. They do all kinds of things in many different areas of our lives. This is going to be one of the things that I challenge all of our people, something I've been challenged in for a little over a year, actually. I've been doing this for a little over a year in these 5 areas, which is what I'm going to teach everybody else. So if you don't go to Roots Church and you still like to listen, you can do that because all you got to do is go to the Roots Church YouTube page and listen to all the previous messages. And I can't even tell you the title of the message yet, but it'll be launched this Sunday, and you'll be able to go back and listen to all of these 7 messages. It's going to be a 7-week series, and you're not going to want to miss because it's really going to help you in these 5 areas. We're going to talk about spiritual, mental, relational, physical, and financial. Those are all the 5 areas that we are going to work on in 2025. I've already been talking about it a little bit with everybody, but we're going to go into some detail. Now, I know that when it comes to New Year's resolutions, it really is a joke. I mean, if we're going to be honest with each other, everybody sets all these goals. Everybody's in the gym, I went to the gym a couple weeks ago, and everybody was in the gym. It's just the way it is. And then, about February, March, next thing you know, only the people that really want to be there are there, and everybody else just did it to start, but they couldn't finish, right? They're good at starting, but they're terrible at finishing. And that seems to be the thing for a lot of people when it comes to New Year's resolutions, because the truth is there's a lot of studies out there that say approximately 23% of people that make these goals quit after just 2 weeks. There's actually a day called Quitting Day in January, the second Friday, which is coming up today, as a matter of fact. Today, I think it's today, is the Quitting Day. So all those people that literally set all these goals have quit today. They've given up already. Only 9% of people that set New Year's resolutions goals actually keep them the entire year successfully, and they achieve their goals. Those are not very good odds for many people. I'm just going to tell you right now, 47% of people that set New Year's resolution goals are already done by the end of January. It's just insanity how many people set all these goals, but they lack the motivation. They give themselves unrealistic goals maybe. Maybe they have an absence of a plan. They don't even have a plan. They just got these ideas that sound really cool. Their friends are doing it, or they've heard it somewhere and they're going to do it, but they never really had a plan. And I really think this is one of the reasons why people, I think, my opinion is the reason why people struggle at committing to New Year's resolution goals or making any commitment at all is they lack a desire to do whatever it is that they want to do. It's the desire that we lack. But here's the problem. The truth is, all people on this earth will do what they want to do when they want to do it. They will buy what they want to buy, even if they don't really have the money to buy it and they really want it, they're still going to buy it. If they don't want to go somewhere, Or let's say that we're having church, right? But they'll come up with a million excuses why they shouldn't be at church. But if they want to go somewhere where they want to go, somewhere maybe where they think is fun, guess what? They'll go. They will trek through 6 feet of snow. They will go through 3 inches of ice to get where they want to go. That's just the reality of people, right? Human beings. They do what they want to do, and they'll buy what they want to buy, and they will go where they want to go. That's the end of the story. You want to know why it's like that? Because they have a desire for that thing. Whatever that thing is, they have a mad desire for it. Now, I'm not going to get into too much of this because you got to be here this Sunday to listen to the rest of what I'm going to talk about when it comes to desire. But some common reasons of people not attempting their goal, the number one for me is the desire, the lack of the desire to do it. But it's the lack of motivation, it's unrealistic goals, and it's the absence of a clear plan. When I think about health, because that's kind of what I want to talk about, is I had a major, my life changed dramatically back in November whenever I kept going to the doctor and having all these issues with high blood pressure. I had chronic headaches. I had sleep apnea. I was snoring real bad, which was obviously bothering my wife. There's a plethora of things. My liver enzymes were high. I was just overweight. It was just one of these things where I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to do something about this. And when I think about, this issue, which you can look at this in every area, is I think about what does the Word of God say about this? And when you read the Word of God, because to me, the change happens in the heart, and then what's in the heart actually finally comes out everywhere else. So if you don't change your heart and all you do is change your mind, it's not going to last. You got to change your heart first. That's the key. And for me, that's what happened. I got a heart change. And the scripture comes to mind in 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 and 20. This is Paul. He says, "Don't you realize that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by God? You do not belong to yourself, for God bought you with a high price, so you must honor God with your body." It doesn't say you should. It says you must honor God with your body. And when I read that, that's something that I was not doing with my body. I was not honoring God with my body. I had this attitude of, I don't eat to live, I live to eat, man. Give me all the junk, man. I want to enjoy whatever that thing is. I love me a cheesecake. I love Reese's Cups. I love pizza. I love everything that is bad for you. I mean, I think everybody does. It's easy to eat what's bad. But I wasn't having the right attitude. And to be real honest with you, I wasn't coming under the authority of God at the time either by submitting my whole self to God in every area of my life. There were things that I was really good at, and there were things that I was not that great at. And every Christian goes through this. I believe every pastor ends up going through this. It can be a struggle because we have sin living in us, and the sin seems to always be a little bit stronger than the will that we have. And again, you got to come Sunday to listen to this message because it's going to help you tremendously in these areas. But one of the things that I did, like today, I'm going to give you some very small practical things to try to help you as we dive into this message over the next, several weeks, is you got to start small. You got to have incremental changes, like just drinking more water, walking 10 minutes a day, the simple things. I was a terrible water drinker, man. I would drink 10 cups of coffee in a day and never drink water, ever. Like week after week, I would never, ever drink water. The only water I drank was the water that was in the coffee or the water that was in my soda or water that was in tea. That's it. I never drank water for many, 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 many years. And what's really sad is our bodies are made up of mostly water, and I didn't drink water, which is probably one of the reasons why I had chronic headaches. But then I came across this little device, and I think I showed this to you the last time. It's called an Echo Go water bottle. And what it does, it puts hydrogen back in the water, which then in return does many, 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 many health benefits. And somebody said, well, how do we know that it's really putting hydrogen back in there? I said, well, I really don't know. I just have to go off of the person who told me about it and the people that sell it and the people that endorse it, and do I trust them? And I absolutely do. Therefore, I believe it does put hydrogen into the water because you can't taste it and you can't smell it. And honestly, you don't feel it. You don't feel really any different. So it's not like something you can take and all of a sudden you got all this energy, or something you take and all of a sudden something goes away. It's not like that. But here's why it's important to me. Because my wife got this for me for Christmas, and because mentally I believe this thing is going to help me, it helps me drink more water. So even if this thing did not produce the hydrogen that they say it produces, it's still helping me because I'm drinking more water now than I ever have. And hopefully I don't have to pause this show to go to the restroom, because I've been going to the restroom about every 30 minutes. And I'm hoping that goes away as I continue to drink more water, which they say will happen. But this is a simple thing that I started doing to help me do better. A small little thing of buying a device like this and helps me drink water. I take it on the go everywhere I am. I got my nickname. I got my name on the bottom of it because I actually bought all of these for every staff for Christmas because I also want them to be healthy this year in 2025. So you got to start small. Then I want you to create consistency. Start small, number one. Number two, be consistent. They say if you do something the same every day for 90 days, it will become a new habit. This is why consistency is the key. You got to try things and do them consistently for 90 days. Don't just give up 2 weeks into your New Year's resolutions. You're never going to accomplish your goals. Don't give up 30 days in. Don't give up 60 days in. And don't give up 59 days in. Or, 89 days in. No, do it for 90 days. And in 90 days, they say it will be a new habit for you. I think trying new habits is good, and finding the small things. Track your progress. That's another way you can do this. Use a journal. Use an app. Use a Fitbit watch. Use a Garmin watch. Use an Apple Watch. I don't care what you do. You can track your water. You can track your steps. You can track everything that you do to help you stay on track of your goals. Now, some of the challenges that people face is a lack of time. This is why you have to schedule this time. You have to put it in your calendar, and you have to do it as if you're going to eat every single day, or as you're going to go to the bathroom every day, or as you're going to go to work every single day. You have to make sure you make time to do the simple things. Don't be overwhelmed by creating these massive goals that you're just going to be, whatever those, I'm going to lose whatever that is. If you're talking about weight, I'm going to lose 150 pounds, and I'm going to have the body of, whoever, body that you're wanting to look like. That's probably not going to be attainable in a year. It's going to take a lot of time to get to that place. So set smaller goals and make them manageable, and be consistent and track the progress. Those are a few of the things. Don't have a mindset that it's all or nothing, because guess what? We're all going to fail. So don't get into this thing and be like, well, I didn't do it this week, so I guess it's over. I might as well just go back to my old lifestyle. No, get back in. Every day is a new day. For instance, I work out 3 days a week. We went on a little trip. I worked out every day that I was there. But then on Thursday, we coming home on Friday. Thursday, I didn't feel like working out. So I'm like, I'm just going to take a day of rest. I don't normally work out on Thursdays, and I really didn't want to work out Friday because that's a travel day, and I knew it was going to be a long day. So we get home, didn't work out Thursday or Friday, got home, and we had Blair had showed up, right? Blair showed up on whatever night that was, Friday night, Saturday. We were home, thankfully. Didn't work out Saturday, didn't work out Sunday, and didn't work out Monday because of all the snow and all the cold. And I'm like, we got to go to work. We got to work out. It didn't work out Tuesday either. But Wednesday rolled around. We went to the gym. It'd been 6 days. But I didn't just say, well, it's been 6 days, and so I guess I'm not going to go to the gym today because, I've already failed, and, it's like catching back up. No, we went back to the gym. You have to make a commitment to keep going. So I hope this is helping somebody. I'm just really here to encourage you. I'm just giving you my life to help you. I've literally become what I call a health nerd now. Everything I do, I'm researching it. What is in it? What am I going to eat? What, the exercise, the things I'm trying to do to make my life better and healthier. At the end of the day, guys, I'm going to be 50 years old in about 2 months. That's an age that you don't want to jack around with your health, because it doesn't get any better the older you get. The sooner you can get on a good game plan with your health, the longer you're going to live. But not only is it the longer you live, the better life you live. You're more energetic. You have more of a clear mind. There's less brain fog. You just can think better and operate better. You just have so much more energy, which I think is what's most important to me. If I'm going to do ministry for the long haul, I have to make sure that I am healthy. That was one of the things for me, was to be healthy. The things I do to help me stay encouraged is I celebrate the small victories to keep me motivated. As an example, when I went on these supplements and I did all these things, which I'm happy to tell you all about. If you ask me, you can put it in the comments. I'll reply to every single one of your comments that have questions of what I'm doing. But you got to remember, what I'm doing may not be exactly what you need to be doing. I mean, I would say everybody needs to drink water. I would say everybody needs to exercise. And I would say everybody needs to take some type of supplement. Those are the basics. But what you need to do, because everybody wants to go on these special diets because so-and-so went on a diet and so-and-so's taken this and they've lost all this weight. Well, guess what? If you're trying to do a quick fix, you're going to fix it quick, but it's all going to come back and you're not going to last. This is about a lifestyle. This is not about a diet. This is not about a fad. This is about a real lifestyle, taking care of our bodies, the temple of God, and coming under his authority and making it spiritual. That's the goal to what is going on here. It's got to be spiritual. So celebrate the small victories. Like when I started doing this, I went and got my blood work done. Guess what? All my blood work came back. I celebrated it. I carried my blood work around like it was a trophy or something because I was so excited about how much I improved. When I lose a little bit of poundage, I celebrate the poundage. And I don't go celebrate it by eating a donut or going and getting a bowl of ice cream. No. That's not how you celebrate it. You just talk about it. You just celebrate your success in what you're doing. And then the last thing I do is I rely on a community of people that are in the same game that I'm in, the long haul. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon we are running. And I want to finish well, and the only way I'm going to finish well is if I pace myself to run the race with other people that can be encouraging, run the race with people that can hold me accountable, run the race with people that are talking the same language, so when we do things, we all have that same mindset. That is the race I want to run. So how can I encourage you? How can I have a call to action? Well, for me, my life is a perfect example of how it can happen. My wife, I'm telling you, my wife for many, 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 many years, my wife would get in some of the biggest arguments about food when our kids were young. We're talking 2 to 8 years old. We'd be in these massive arguments about health and food. She's always been health conscious. Me, not. And when she would go to cook, man, she'd try to get wheat this and wheat that. And I'd be like, I don't want wheat, I want this. And it would just the things that were not good for you. And we got into these massive discussions and arguments that lasted for years because I was just off the rails. And so my life is a true testament of someone changing, and not one person did this to me. Actually, I believe God put it inside of me. It started with my desire. Again, I said that in the very beginning. I had a desire to be different because I was getting older. I have grandkids. I want to be around a long time. I want to be able to do ministry to the best of my ability and not be wore out and not be able to function. It doesn't matter how many experiences I do or how many meetings I have. I wanted to make sure that I was healthy to do all that stuff. So I had that desire to do that, and that's what pushed me to those limits. Nobody made me do that. Nobody convinced me to do that. Nobody coerced me to do that. So that's kind of an encouragement for me, is to say, listen, if I can do this, I know you can do this. You just have to start small. You have to start somewhere, and that somewhere needs to be the desire to be different. What I want from you is I want you to share some goals with me right now in the comments. Just start sharing some goals about what you want. Simple things like, hey, I want to be healthier this year. Okay, how are you going to be healthier? You're going to eat better? You're going to exercise? You're going to do both? Because really the majority of it is how you eat. Exercise is just a bonus. And you need both, but eating is way more important than exercise when it comes to your health. Because you can eat bad and exercise, and it's not going to change anything. You can still have high cholesterol. You still have blood pressure. You can still have all diabetes and all these things. It's not going to change much. Sure, it's better, but it's not going to fix. It's the eating part of it is the bigger deal. So put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. What are you going to do for success? What are you going to do for your goals? Put it in the comments. So that way, maybe I can, if I see you at church or I see you out and about, I'll be able to ask you, hey, how's that goal going? Hey, how's that New Year's resolution going of whatever that is? You want to be a better dad? You want to be a better mom? You want to read your Bible more? Or whatever the thing is, I'll be able to ask that. And hopefully I can share that with some other people from our team. And we can ask that and hold each other accountable. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you to do after you put that in the comments is I'm going to ask you to take at least 30 days to just find one or two small things that you can achieve. One simple thing that I've been doing this year, as an example, is the first thing I do when I get out of bed, besides go to the bathroom and besides making a cup of coffee, okay, everything else after that, the first thing I've been doing is reading my Bible. I'm actually doing the one-year Bible read off the YouVersion Bible app. And every morning I go to the restroom, get my cup of coffee, I sit down at my computer, and I open up the Bible app, and I read my Bible plan. It's the first thing I do before I do anything else. That's something that I started new this year. I would read my Bible, but it wasn't consistent. It wasn't every day, or it wasn't at this time. I'd be like, oh, I got to read my Bible, and then I'd do it half of the end of the day, and then I'm tired. I decided this year that I could do this. The very first thing of the day was read my Bible. A plan that someone else created that I didn't have to create. I don't have to think about where to go to read. I just go to the plan, and it tells me what to read. You click start, you click next, and it says complete, and then the next day you do it again. It doesn't get much simpler than that. That's just an example. Another small habit you could create is you could say, I'm going to drink more water every day. If you're like me and you didn't drink any water, your goal is to drink one bottle of water every day for 30 days. That would be a simple goal that you can achieve. Don't go in there and say, I'm drinking 3 gallons of water every day for 30 days. No, you won't make it. Start small. That's an example. So find something achievable for the next 30 days. The last thing I'm going to say is you need to come to church. You need to get your butt in church here at Roots Church, because for the next 7 weeks, I'm going to teach a message that is literally going to help you create better habits, have a much better discipline, and have the tools to actually follow through with it. I'm just saying, this can be done. It all starts with your desire. Do you desire to be better spiritually? Do you desire to be better mentally? Do you desire to be better relationally? Do you desire to be better physically? And lastly, do you desire to be better off financially? To live like no one now so you can live like no one later. It takes habits. It takes discipline, and it obviously takes a desire to want to do all of it. So I hope I see you there Sunday. Don't worry about this little bit of weather we've had. We're going to get the lots cleaned up. We're going to get the snow cleaned up, because listen, if you were going out with your friends on Friday night with this snow, you would go. I don't want to hear any excuses of why you're not here when it comes to the weather. Get your butt to church this Sunday. Drag one of your friends with you that needs some change in their life and maybe not know how to do it, and get them here and let God speak to your heart, speak to your mind about how to make better changes to be a better person. And listen, the truth of the matter is, all of us for 2025, we need a hard reset in our life. So I hope I see you Sunday. This is the show today, guys. That's all I got for you. Next week, I'm thinking about bringing in someone, a guest, to be on my show to talk about some fitness. I don't want to reveal the guest yet because I still got to work out some details. But if it works out, we're going to talk about some numbers of myself. We're going to talk about my journey. And then we're going to talk about some of the things that you can do to continue this journey about being healthy specifically for 2025. Listen, guys, I love you. Do me a favor, subscribe to the show so it'll email you and let you know when a new show comes out. Share with somebody that you know that you would love to have the information, and like this page for sure if you would do me a favor, and follow me on all social media sites if you can. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.